Joining us now is Bernstein's Mark Shmulik, who, despite the letter, has Amazon as a top pick. He's got a buy rating, price of 140 is the target. Why'd you write this letter, other than obviously to get yourself some attention, which is working, by the way, but beyond that, Mark?
Hey, first off, good to be on the show. But no, the letter came from a place where post last earnings call, I felt my role was less of an analyst and more as a therapist, listening to kind of investor feedback on things that Amazon could effectively do better. And I'm certainly bullish on the name. I've actually moved it to my top pick. But I think in addition to just core fundamental improvement, I think there's just a lot of self-help sitting here on the table that Amazon can do if they so choose to pursue it.
Well, you go through a number of those what you believe would be self-help. Divest, seek outside funding, or trim spending across healthcare, exit underwater international markets. You know, they have been trying to get more efficient, haven't they?
You know, I think they have. And, you know, in my view, there's small things you could do kind of on the side. I know they've cut 37 projects, things like, a kids video conferencing product. So, that's not going to move the needle. What we're looking at is some of these big investment items that have really sucked in massive amounts of capital. They're operating in markets like Brazil, where they're certainly not the market leader and they're losing share. They're investing a significant amount of capital in things like healthcare and, Project Kuiper, which just don't seem to be those areas that only Amazon can do. I think there's better places to put that capital to work.
As you say that, I think about the grocery business. They've invested a lot there, and they've got some pretty big, tough competition with Walmart and Kroger. What is the strategy, do you think? What have they said about the aspirations?
Yeah, look, I'm actually all for the grocery business. If we, step back and say 10 years from now, who's going to be Amazon's main competition when we look at U.S. retail? It's Walmart, and Walmart's the leading grocer in the United States. Also, turns out people like to buy groceries in person. So I'm all for trying to build out a complementary physical, grocery solution. What worries me is, when we hear management on the call saying we really haven't figured out product market fit or what the right format is, yet they built out 44 of these new Amazon Fresh stores. I think if we're going to see the Alberts and Kroger's and Zeal close, there's going to be some stores that they're going to have to divest. I think acquiring, is a far more efficient path forward for grocery.
I do wonder, though, Mark, I could imagine a number of years back some investors saying, what are you spending that time on AWS for? It seems like it's not going to scale, or obviously it's become the profit engine for the company. I mean, they seem to be committed to the idea that healthcare is going to become something important for them.
Yeah, I think, and I've certainly heard that sentiment, and I've certainly, I believe the company themselves very likely believes that as well. I'm just worried that AWS is probably the wrong example to anchor to, because I'm all for that those types of opportunities exist. In my opinion, something like Buy with Prime, effectively acting as the fulfillment engine for all of online e-commerce, to me feels far more comparable to what they really built with AWS, where they were sitting on excess capacity and they really had some unique capability that nobody else could really go replicate. So I think those opportunities do exist. Healthcare just feels like it's too broad and ambiguous, and they keep trying to, rather than having a single strategy that they're really committed to scale, more of a try a lot of different things, do a bit in pharmaceuticals, do a bit in telehealth, do a bit in insurance, and try to find something that works. It just feels a little bit less defined and less clear. I think there's better opportunities that they're already working on that I'd rather see capital allocated towards.